Hey guys, Merry Christmas. Hope you're all doing well and having wonderful holidays. Let me know in the comments what you got for Christmas. I got Kendrick's Good Kid Mad City on vinyl and I'm super excited about it. So let me know what you got, and I really hope you spend your holidays and you're surrounded by the people that you love and that you just have a great time, and I hope that you have a wonderful year, but we'll talk about that when this year actually comes to a close. So with this in mind, I wanted to talk about the new Phantom Nightmare set because the year is almost at an end and this set is going to mark the beginning of 2024. So enjoy, get some, Christmas cookies, and hope you enjoy this video, and give it a like while you're at it if you want. So we're gonna talk about the top 5 cards from the set. I really think the set is good. It's going to make an impact. There's a lot of new support and just amazing cards for different archetypes. So let's not waste any more time and let's talk about these cards. The number 1 card from the set 100% is Snake Eyes Populous. This card is wild. It is so good. And if you've seen the OCG at all, you already know that this card is pretty much dominating. It's part of any fire deck pretty much, and fire is going to be really strong in the upcoming format. Rescue Ace and Fire Kings were the most impacted by this card. But what does it actually do? So obviously it's a level 1 fire. So this just goes in tandem with the entire Sinful Spoils package immediately. And it is a Snake Eyes card, obviously. So if it's added to your hand, except by drawing it, you get to special summon it for free, which you can do with Snake Eyes Ash, for example. And this is like one of the main combos moving forward. Normal summon Snake Eyes Ash, add Populous, special Populous, and you immediately have 2 bodies to do with as you please, pretty much. Because if this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Snake Eye spell trap from your deck to your hand. So this gets you to original Sinful Spoils without the need of Witch. And that's important because Witch would have to pitch a card to the graveyard to special summon itself, and then the original Sinful Spoils would have to get rid of another card. So you are losing pretty much 2 cards if you think about it. But with this card, it literally gets you to original Sinful Spoils, and it also gives you a card for free that the Sinful Spoils can actually get rid of because of the second part of this card's effect. So if it's sent to the graveyard, you can actually target 1 fire monster in your grave, place it face up in its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. And it doesn't say anything about not being able to target itself. So you pretty much special summon it, get to the original Sinful Spoils, get rid of the card, and then you get to place it face up in the spell and trap zone for free to get rid of it with original Sinful Spoils. So that's really, really important. It's completely free and it gets your combos going. So yeah, I cannot say enough about this card. It is insane. And let's talk about another broken card that also has to do with fire decks because it's just what the meta is going to be looking like. I think the entire community has been begging for fire support, for pyro support, for volcanic support, stuff like that, and right now we're getting all of it. So the Promethean Princess is a Link 3 fire monster. And basically it requires 2+ effect monsters, and you cannot special summon monsters except fire monsters. So while this card obviously is face up on the field, and you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. So let's look at what they are. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 fire monster from your graveyard. This is literally like Sprite Elf, but for fires, pretty much. It is completely free because you get to use the monsters to link climb into this card, special summon something back, and link climb further. All you have to do is summon a fire because you're locked. But one of the great link 4s that's actually fire is the Ambloeo, which actually sees play in Fire Kings. So that's insane. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can target 1 fire monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy them, and if you do, special summon this card. So this is an interruption from the graveyard that's a little unexpected because let's be real, like people just don't read cards. Once they go to the graveyard, they kind of just a lot of times pretend that like cards, they don't exist, so they just kind of forget that there's additional effects. So if you've seen any combos post Phantom Nightmare, if you look at Fire Kings, they end on the Ambloeo, usually. There's new combos as well, but they end on the Link 4, and it doesn't seem like the most formidable board, actually. But then you have Promethean Princess in the graveyard. You pop another of your own cards, and Fire Kings always trigger when they get popped, so you get additional stuff. For example, if you destroy Kirin, and Kirin gets destroyed, it gets obviously sent to the graveyard, and it's going to special summon something as well as non-target destroy a card on the field. So immediately you are getting 2 destructions, and you're also summoning back the Promethean Princess, which is going to come in really handy. And you have the Amble Whale on top of things, not to mention that Fire Kings just do a lot of stuff during your opponent's turn from the hand as well, because they have again the Kirin, which can be accessed through Barong, so they can quick XYZ summon. It is wild what this deck is able to accomplish. And this card is really, really good and helps them. And it's not just this deck, obviously. Rescue Ace is going to benefit, and just random stuff like Salamangreat even. Like anything that's fire is going to definitely find this card really, really useful. And another quick combo I wanted to mention is, again, with all the new Snake Eyes cards and all of that, the Flamberge Dragon is actually really, really important. And that's the card that's been going up in price. So hopefully you picked it up sooner rather than later, or you pick it up sooner rather than later, because it actually has the ability of going into this card. Promethean Princess can obviously special summon it back because it's a fire, and it has additional effects of placing stuff in the spell and trap card zone. One of those cards that can be placed is actually IP, which can then be special summoned from the spell and trap zone during the opponent's turn for an additional disruption. So it's actually wild. I'll be making, like I said, more content on Phantom Nightmare and like interesting combos and stuff that can be done with these cards if you're interested, of course. So let's keep it going. Let's move on to the next card, and let's switch things up a bit. Let's talk about a trap card. So Rumpelteufel is pretty much a trap card that's going to be really, really useful in Labyrinth. So you get to declare a monster card name, and neither player can special summon monsters with that original name for the rest of this turn except from the graveyard. And that's really good. Like if you know what you're up against, it's going to you know, put you ahead and give you a lot of advantage. You can banish this card from your graveyard and declare 1 monster card name. Neither player can activate the effects of monsters on the field with that original name for the rest of this turn. You do only get to use 1 of the effects per turn, but still it's just this really neat piece of disruption that just comes in handy. So we'll see if builds try to incorporate this card and start to do this, but in my opinion, it's a card worth mentioning. Now, let's move on to a Synchro Monster. I wanted to talk about this because it's generic and it's probably going to see play in Centurion, which obviously went untouched on this Forbidden Limited list. Like not even King Calamity was hit, which is like the only card we kind of suspected might be hit. And this is a Synchro 8. And if it's Synchro summoned or sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 monster in your grave or 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, discard 1 card, and if you do, place the targeted monster face-up in its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous trap. And during either player's turn, while this card is treated as a continuous trap, you can special summon 1 face-up monster card from your spell and trap zone. So, okay, let's decipher this. This card is going to be really useful because of the sent to the graveyard part of the effect, because obviously like if you get to make Synchro summon a Synchro 8, that's incredible. And like I said, decks like Centurion will be able to utilize this, or other decks that just easily make generic Synchro 8s. But which cards do actually send cards to the graveyard? It's Nadir Servant, Ultimate Slayer. So this Synchro Monster immediately becomes a way to out-synchros with Ultimate Slayer. It actually has a good effect because anytime, you wanna target for Ultimate Slayer, that's actually going to do something in the graveyard as well. And this card is great at doing that. And also it doesn't have any restriction of not being able to place itself in the spell and trap card zone, so you can actually place it there. And while it's treated as a continuous trap, you can utilize your stuff in the spell and trap card zone, which again is going to work with Centurion. So I think Nadir is a really good addition to decks like Centurion, and I think it's important to not underestimate this card. I really think it has a lot of potential, whether you just utilize its graveyard effect by being sent to the grave or actually being Synchro summoned, because you get to make it. So I wouldn't sleep on this card. I think it's nice. And yeah, let's keep it going. I wanted to talk about the Berserk Archfiend and a couple other cards. Actually, we got to the number 4 slot on today's list, and there's a couple cards I want to mention, and you can let me know which card is actually worthy of being the number 5 on this list. So this is definitely great support for Unchained. It immediately comes to mind because you get to to stuff with Fiend monsters. So let's talk about this. It is a level 6 effect monster, and you can target up to 2 face-up monsters you control, including a Fiend monster, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, destroy those monsters. So this literally is worded like it's just made for Unchained, and Unchained can't use any help it can get, if we're being completely honest. It's a level 6 and they put Shavara to 1. It's like it's obvious, it's screaming Unchained. So I would try and test this card if I was trying to make Unchained work for 2024. That's all I'm gonna say. So okay, when a monster is destroyed by this card's previous effect, you can target an equal number of face-up monsters your opponent controls, and this card gains attack equal to those monsters' total original attack until the end of your next turn. So this is actually a long time that it has the attack boost, and it's already at 2000, so it can actually help deal with some problematic cards. I definitely wanted to give props to this card. It seems like it's really good. So, okay, there's also the Aether Machina Carnord, and I think it's nice. Like, I don't think it's the greatest card. I still wanted to mention it. It cannot be normal summon or set, and it's a level 10 monster with 3k attack already. And I'm mentioning this because of some of the effects that it has. So, must first be special summoned from your hand or grave. During a duel, your opponent activated a monster effect in their hand or graveyard. That's usually going to happen. It can only be special summoned once per turn this way. And no, actually, it can only be special summoned once per turn, period. Okay, once per turn, if your opponent activates a monster effect, except during the damage step, you can make this card gain 1000 attack. And if it's sent to the grave, except from the hand or deck, shuffle it into the deck. So I wanted to talk about it because it's like so free to summon if you're trying to deal with stuff that's hard to out, because it can get to 4k attack. Like, again, it's not the greatest card of this set, but I still wanted to, I wanted to mention it. I think it's something that's just smart to pick up and have. And then we have a couple Aroma Lilith and Aroma overall just support. We have the Rosalina and Rosemary. Now both of them are really, really good, and with Rika being hit, the deck can still utilize the Rika portion of things, because the actual portion that was hit was Sun Avalon. So if you're trying to make Rika or any planned deck work, I would look to this support for help, because it's really, really good. So number 1, we have the Dark level 1 Aroma Lilith Rosalina, and it's a quick effect. You can discard this card, target one Aroma monster you control, and you gain life points equal to half its attack. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon one non-tuner Aroma monster from your deck, and then you're locked into plant monsters for the rest of the turn. So it gives you a free monster, and that's always valuable. And then we have the Rosemary, which it's really good. So it's a link 3, requires 2+ plant monsters, and if it's special summon, you get to add an Aroma card from your deck to your hand. Immediately it searches, and if you gain life points, and pretty much that's all that Aroma cards do, they gain life points, like we said with Rosalina. So if you gain life points, you can special summon up to 3 Aroma monsters from your hand to your zones this card points to. So it's, I don't know, it's like, it's very free. It reminds me of like a free pendulum summon. So you can chip it to a monster this card points to, then target one card on the field, banish it, and if you do, gain 1000 life points. So you don't need to like first special summon to the zones. You can just have something there, tribute the card off, get rid of a threat, gain life points, and then special summon 3 from your hand if that's what's up. That's what's happening with your hand. So it's actually insane. It's so flexible, gets you to so many things, and just like, I don't know, it's a little scary, you know, getting 3 free monsters off of this link 3. I think it's good support. I genuinely think so. And okay, let's end this video with the EMP Gra Meowd. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. So obviously it's a play on IP, SP, all of that, and we see IP here on the artwork. Actually, I do think the Gra Meowd is actually this little ball right here. So okay, level 2 Cyberse, and it being level 2 is just so important. Immediately we're going to think about Sprite. If a link monster is on the field or in either grave, you can special summon this card from your hand. How free is that? And what does Sprite need? It needs free special summons. And you can only special summon it once per turn this way. And if a link 2 monster you control is sent to the grave or banished face up, which pretty much that's what SP is there for, you can banish this card from your graveyard if it was there when the monster was sent or banished, or hand even if not. Then target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So free body which gets you to Sprite stuff if you're utilizing it in that deck. And of course, Sprite can play IP, SP, all of that. And then you also get to get rid of your opponent's cards. So I think it's nice. I wanted to mention it. Obviously, we have more than 5 cards on this list, but you know me, I like to talk about cards and Yu-Gi-Oh! And all of that. So I will always give you more content than less content. So if you enjoyed, please give this video a like and let me know which card you think is the best card of Phantom Nightmare. And like I said before, Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoy your holidays, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.